Morning everyone, hope you're alright. And you've been enjoying this lovely weather. So sorry I'm a bit late, I've been running around doing things. Trying to get a coffee down me before I start here. So today we're going to do some kind of character that's maybe like a like an elven warrior or an elf warrior, or something like my son said looks a bit like a Zelda type character. But what we're going to do for the more basic one is to try and do hi Art.
Hi.
Is to try and do something a little more complicated with the pose than before, because we've done every character so far really straight on, looking straight at you, whereas this one I want to try and get a bit of movement or action into the thing. You don't have to do the drawing Art if you don't want to. Okay. Here's the stand for the iPad. And is that your sketch? Okay. And there's a pencil. You've got one? Okay. So we'll just start with, I've got a little idea of a character who's got maybe a hood on and pointy ears. So a couple of hellos to Donna. Hi Donna, Chris and Kai and Caden. Hi to Steve, hope you're all right matey. Hi to Evie, and hello to Auntie Claire, Martin over in Wales, Chris, Anna, Bridie, and then my uncle and auntie and cousins. Okay, so we're going to start with the like a hood shape here, sort of a straight-ish line like that, and then we're going to do like a curve round here, and then another curve with a bit of an overlap like that. So that's like the edge of the hood, and you can put a bit of shadow in there if you want. And we're going to bring out from here the start of the character's head. So it's going to go, I'm going to put some loose lines to just give you an idea of what I'm doing, because sometimes I'm worried I just draw it and it doesn't make sense at first. So the basic shape I'm thinking of is like an oval egg shape, and then we're going to have the hood coming down like that, and then to show it's an elf, an ear sticking out there. You can do that if you want, do some light lines, and then often I do this and I draw them in and then rub them back out, and they're there faintly, but just enough for me to see. So we took that hood just behind the ear there, maybe do a sort of crease line like that. And here, I'm going to bring a sort of curved line and then a little dint in This is the cheekbone really, back out and down, join it up there. So you can see it sort of curve in, out a bit, down and round like that. And that's because we're doing, instead of like we did with Norman, we're going to do it slightly 3/4. Put the curve of the hood under his chin or her chin there. And then maybe another curve here. That's your hood. I'm not going too fast, am I, Art? No. This here, we're going to curve like that. And a couple of back to front C's, really. And that sort of question mark just there. So you can make this part of the hood as long or as pointy as you like, or short, or just straight down like a normal hoodie. I'm going to give it a little point here, like that. And then I'm going to do a line that overlaps it there with another line, so it looks like a crease. And then join it to the hood there. And you could, if you wanted, you could draw patterns around here, or a leaf shape, zigzags, anything really. I'm going to put sort of a brooch or a pin there holding his cloak or her cloak together. So here might be a good idea to do some hair sort of curving down like that, and you can bring it round here, or you could have a bit dangling down like that. Nice curvy lines though. And you can make this a girl or a boy really, it doesn't matter. It's up to you.
Doesn't matter if they have long hair like me.
No, that's right. I'm going to do an eyebrow behind that hair there, and then another shorter eyebrow. And what we're going to do is quite a thick line there, and then it's going to go a bit thinner and curve down. And that just gives you the start of the nose, but we're not going to draw all of it in.
So it says, it's Esme's, someone called Naomi Cope. It's Esme's 8th birthday on Sunday. Could you please give her a shout out?
Oh, okay, Esme. Happy birthday for Sunday. It was my birthday last Monday, so we nearly share birthdays, just a week apart. So have a great day. And I've been looking at the drawings you've been doing. All of you have been doing, even your mum and dad, and they're amazing. Really, really good. So I keep going, because you really improving each time. And if you keep practicing in between and taking some of these ideas and creating your own characters, I think you can really develop. So that's what I hope people do anyway. So anyway, well done, Esme, and happy birthday for Sunday. So I'm going to do one of those eyes, a bit like we did on the Space Girl, where instead of it being like this, it's more like this corner is much lower than that corner. So you have one point there and this point is somewhere up here. That gives you an elfy shaped eye. I always think their eyes should be more like that than like, let's say, that. That doesn't look very elfy to me. That looks quite elfy. Don't know if that's a word, elfy.
Elfy sounds like a name.
Yeah. So remember that, this point lower than that point, and then we do a nice curve underneath. Okay. How's it going, Art? Going all right? Good speed. Then here we do a similar shape, but a little bit shorter line, same shape but slightly shorter, and here we're going to just curve it a little more, and you can see, so that eye looks slightly bigger than that one, and that's because it's sort of curving round the face, so you can't quite see as much of that one as you can of this one. And then you can put the pupils anywhere you like. You can put them here looking that way, or you can put them here looking at the viewer. I'm going to put them here as if they've spotted something. Don't forget to put those, leave those nice white dots in there.
The word you're looking for is elven.
Elven, that's it, not elvish. Thank you, Peter. Not elfish, elven. Okay, then we're going to draw a sort of cute, not too cute nose here. So, and this is really easy, look. We're going to do one line like that, and then one line like that. And that's the edge of the bottom of the nose, and that's the nostril, like that. And then you can do just a little dash above it, 1, 2, like that. And we're not going to do much more than that to the nose. I quite like it like that. You could put some freckles on if you want. Now you can make them, we could do a grumpy or sort of savage looking mouth like that, or we can do a happy like that. I'm going to go with, what do you think, Art?
It's your choice.
Let's do a little line like that, and I'm going to go like that, slightly curved, and I want a little bit of a V there, so like that, and a curve underneath, and then a little curve for the bottom lip. And you can really vary these, the distance, the nose could be shorter, longer, straighter, but you know, you can take these basic shapes and you can build quite interesting characters with them. So that's my elf face. I'm quite happy with that. Now here we're going to, this is where it's going to get a bit more complicated than last time, but hopefully you'll feel like you're improving and advancing a bit as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this line of the cloak and we're just going to curve it there and stop, and then curve line like a crease like that, and then here. So that's the start of the cloak going over his shoulder or her shoulder. And here, just a little bit of the cloak showing the other side. Now, you can put like a shoulder pad here, if you like. And then here, we're going to draw the arm, and it's coming down and across right the way to about here. So you can put a little V in there as a crease for the clothing. And you can put that's like a W shape there. So that's the arm. It's quite long. Here you could do some more of that leaf pattern look. Then here is the start of the body. You can't see much of it because that arm's in front, and then maybe there's a line in the middle with stitches. What do you think, Art?
Good.
Do you need to sharpen your pencil? I've got this one if you want.
I can do it.
And under here, nice curve for like a tunic maybe. Another crease. How you doing?
Good. Except I'm going a bit slow. I'm doing all these details.
Well, you could put the details in afterwards if you want to keep up with what I'm doing. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So I've put a wrist guard thing in. Now this is because I think I like this idea anyway, that because they're going to be firing a bow or holding a bow, and when you shoot a bow sometimes the string sort of hits you there on the hand that holds it, and it can get quite sore. So there's a good reason for this elf to have a wrist guard there, and we can put some stitches on, or laces, as if that's how they attach it. Then a hand here. So up, don't be scared of the hands, they're quite simple the way we're drawing them. Like a little curve at the top there, and here we're going to go 1, 2 for the fingers, join them like that, and then a knuckle, like 2 commas or apostrophes there. And you can do a line like that if you like. That's them holding the bow there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put an arrow in. And I'm going to start the straight line just above this wrist guard here, about a couple of centimetres above, and I'm going to bring a straight line down, and I want it to cross just here at the thumb and top of that finger. So it's going to go down like that. And that's the arrow. It doesn't matter if you have to rub it out and do it a couple of times, but you can make it more. You can do a second line just above it, look. So there's the arrow. We'll do a nice point on the end. Then some feathers, flights. So they're just really simple, but with a couple of lines in like that, they look like feathers. And then here is the hand that's holding the string for the bow.
Just can't do it.
What's up?
Can't do it.
That's good art. You don't have to do it now though, do you? If you don't want, you can do it later.
It's a bit too hard.
Is it? So I think today we're just going to do one drawing. This is the one drawing because it's quite advanced and several people, a lot of people are doing one but not the other, so I'm worried maybe I'm getting too complicated. So we'll just stick with doing one elf character, but it's something that's sort of halfway between the really easy stuff and the harder stuff. Then if it doesn't go well, we'll go back to the other way we were doing it before, because Art says it's quite difficult, this one. Is it quite difficult, Art?
Yeah. Just can't get enough.
You can always go back and do it, Art. Do you want a rubber here? 'Cause that one's a bit smudgy, that rubber you're using, isn't it? If it's not going well, Art, you should leave it. That's what I do. If you're getting frustrated.
I want to do it. It's just really hard.
So there's this hand. So what I've done there is drawn the thumb as a curve. So let's break that down to simple shapes. Look. If you go like a curve like that, it's almost like an E that doesn't join up, and then curving back to there. And then you can follow that line here round again, and then put a thumbnail.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Okay, let's turn that off then. Look at that instead, alright?
I'm going to go and do my homework.
Okay, so there's that hand, and it's just sort of behind the body, so we're quite advanced here. So nice curvy line like that for the bow, and then thinner at the top. And joining the hand there. And the other part of the bow coming down here. Curve and then out, and then thinner at the bottom there. Then we can do the bowstrings, a couple of lines like that, and then join them to the hand there, and then this one join into the hand there. Actually, maybe that's a bit long, I don't know. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. You can shade it in like that if you need to. Then down and then curve this line round. And here I'm going to put a sword in. So I'm going to maybe, having spoke to Art just now about this, maybe this is going to be the more advanced drawing. And if I've got time straight after, I'll do a more simple elf drawing. Sorry about messing the order up. Normally I do the simple one first, but Art just said to me this is quite complicated, so maybe I'm going a bit too ahead of myself. So this is the complicated one, and then after we'll do a more simple one. So there's the hilt of the sword, and then the scabbard. You can draw like that, or bring it round. You can do a ornate end to the scabbard. And another nice curvy line. This is to make the cloak look like it's flowing, like that. And this one's sort of up a bit and round, and you can shade that in. And then here again, put a belt in, and you can put decorations on there. We're going to bring this leg across and down like that. I want it to be quite a long leg. I always think that when you're drawing the elven characters, that they should be quite long and elegant almost. So we're going to do a straight line, straightish line like that, and then here, this is the end of his tunic that he's got on there, and I want this to curve round like that slightly, and then we're going to bring this up here. That's sort of indicating where you're going to start the leg. Here's another opportunity for some decoration, or a crease like that. Bring that leg down, do another little sort of W shape there, and some creases off it. And there's the knee. Here I'm going to put this bit in shadow, and this is the leg behind. So I want this, because you're looking down on him, so I don't want these feet to look level. I want it to look like there's some perspective there. So we're going to start the next leg. It's going to have another little crease there, and then we're going to sort of bring the lower leg, the bend in the knee would actually be there. So we're going to start it just above the bend in this knee. We're going to start the bottom part of the lower leg like that. Now that might look a bit weird at the moment, but once I draw it in, it'll make sense, hopefully. So here we'll draw like maybe a boot with a little sort of V shape in the end of it. Again, quite nice long legs, and then another of those sort of W shapes. And quite a long foot. Put those curves on, look. Nice curvy line like that. Make sure it curves up a bit at the end there to go round the foot. And then a sole, so we do a heel, stop about there, level with that part of the lower leg, come up a bit, and then down and round. And then we're going to put this part, we're going to shade it so that you can see it's behind the other part, the other leg. We can put a bit of shadow there if you want. Curve like that, down with a V shape for the creases, and then we're going to go out for the heel, down, and just bend the foot at the bottom, so it's sort of quite a smooth curve there with a little dink in it, and curve it back up so it looks like he's bending his foot. Bring a line down there and another crease over, and put the heel in, curve it round. So you can see there he looks like he's sort of got one leg behind the other, and then you can put shadow in. Make sure you put loads of decoration on these. You know, you could do a seam down the edge of the trousers there, or you could do maybe a little pouch carrying something there, or we did a potion bottle on the Monkey King, something like that. Here you could put more decoration like that. You can put some grass in the background, or a tree if you want. If you put a bit of things in the background, you can really start to create a story with it. If you want, you can even behind, we could put a little what they used to call a quiver for his arrows to be kept in. You could have it maybe attached to the belt if you wanted. So behind here, if you did a shape similar to that, so two straight lines with a curve, and then let's shade it in, and then we could think it would come here up to here, and maybe you'd just see some arrows there. And that's where he keeps the rest of his arrows for his bow. So there you go, we'll call that the more complicated one. I think I got a bit carried away there, sorry. Being a bit, getting a bit ahead of myself, I think. So now we'll go on to doing, a more simple version of the elf. So I'll just change my paper around. Sharpen my pencil. And let's go for it. So I want you to think about, on this, we're doing a more simple version here, so but I still want you to think about some basic shapes. So when we're doing this elf, because I said, as I said, he should look quite, or she should look quite long and sort of elegant. So let's not do, you know, too short like this. We want him to be, or her to be, have quite long legs. Okay, so when we start to draw, just think about where you're placing it on the paper, so you've got enough room to fit in the shapes we're going to use. So we're going to start with the hood shape, and it's going to go up, round and down like that. And then we're going to stop there because that's where the ears are going to be sticking out, and then we're going to come up and down like that. That just looks like the top of the hood sort of just resting over the top of the hairline, as it were. And as we did on the last one, you can put some decorations on there. And we come out with the ears. 1, 2, like that. Then curves. One curve, like those C shapes, and then that question mark sort of shape there. And you can give them earrings if you want. We're going to do the face sort of a bit more pointy chin, I think. So come down to quite a nice point like that. And then eyebrows quite high up, look like that. And the eyes, like I did on the last one, lower in this corner, the corner nearest the nose, and higher at the corner nearest the ear. So 1, think about that space there, make sure it's about an eye's width apart, like that. Nice curve down, round, then so, sorry Molly, I've got Molly the collie here with me. Then we're going to do little nose, just I'm going to do quite a long distance from here to here, but quite a little nose, so it's like a 2 curvy L shapes like that, and then a smooth V shape. And I'm going to do a sort of cheeky smile. So it curves up more at one side than the other, and a bottom lip. So it's sort of 2 lines down, and then this one doesn't quite join up, so you can see it's the bottom lip. And we'll bring the hood round from here. Joining under the chin, and then we can put that brow chin that we did last time, or something here. This could be like you do the eye, leave a little highlight there and shade. Here we put some shadow in, so you can see that's the hood. And we're going to bring lines coming up and over, up, over, and radiating down slightly, up and over, up and over. That's for the edge of the shoulders, as it were. And we'll join these with slightly bumpy lines. Little leafy shaped shoulder pad there, look. quite a long body. Again, like I said, think about your proportions. That's how long and each bit is. So again, we're doing it quite cartoony, like we said, things like Teen Titans and that, they always have the head quite big, but I want to leave room for quite a long legs. So you can see here I'm thinking my belt should be about there, no further down than that, maybe a little higher up, so something like that. Then the edge of my tunic, and then 2 legs, you see, so it's nice and long and elegant. And then we could put, we're going to do them holding a bow but not firing it like we did in the last one. That was quite complicated, so I'm going to bring this arm down again, think quite a nice long arm, put those little V's in for the creases, and that's the edge of the body there. The arm, there's a little gap, okay, make that line slightly curved, then another sort of zigzaggy line for the crease. And here's the elbow, but don't make it too sharp a curve, just a gentle one like that. Then put that wrist guard that we spoke about like that, with some stitches to hold it on, laces. And the hand, so we're going to go out, out like that, and we're going to bring one line there, this one joins there, that one doesn't, because that's where your thumb is. So one like that, and then a curve like a J, and a J, and then little apostrophes for the knuckles, and the bow. So nice long with a curve, long with a curve like that, and bring it back to there. Don't do it too thick, back like that. And we'll put the bowstring, it doesn't have to be, you can use a ruler if you wanted, or if you're struggling to get the straight lines, I know sometimes it's hard, you could take the edge of a book like that, look, you can just line it up with the 2 ends of your bow string. When you draw it, stop there at his arm, because it's going behind his arm. So one like that, one like that. Don't need to make things more difficult than they need to be. So there's a sort of grip for his bow. And bring the body down. Remember to do those nice curves I spoke about, so it just helps to make it look more realistic. I think we could put a strap across here maybe for him carrying something, or her carrying something. If you wanted to make it look more female, really the face is quite feminine anyway on an elf, but you could put some, you know, eyelashes in like that, and immediately it looks more feminine. So we can bring again laces maybe to do up his tunic that he's wearing. Or you could do that pattern that we did on the last one, where you do sort of leaf shapes. And then the next one you start at the point of the top one above, so like that. So start at the point of the one above, like that. And just repeat that. It's like what they used to call a scale armour. I'll do the same here now to match it up. Start at the point above. You don't have to do this, you could just do it as a cloth tunic, or it's just something an area to put some detail in, really. And here we'll put a belt across like that, maybe a pointy buckle. Everything's a bit more pointy and elegant like that. Put this arm coming down with the crease for the creases in the fabric. Then maybe here we could do a sword, or I'm thinking maybe we could do what we could actually do is bring this strap over and have the quiver on the back, so you could bring that as if it's going over the top of his cloak, and then put slightly curved like that and put some arrows in, straight lines, and then those feathers, and just overlap a few like that. Another zigzag. And then I'm thinking, okay, that arm's here, so I need to start because they're both dangling down at the same sort of angle, so they need to be a similar length. So we'll do this other wrist guard here, and maybe in this hand they're holding an arrow ready to fire. So we're going to go two similar lines like that, sort of brackets but with a point to them, and like a dash down, and then remember to overlap these a bit, because it really helps to look like a hand. So really all I've done is 1, 2, 3, 4, but they look like the creases in the hand. And then if we take a stick like that, draw it coming down, that's gone a bit wonky, but it's okay, and put a point on it, and then you can just curve up like that. Got him holding an arrow, draw the back of that there, and then here we could put a sword or a dagger. You could make this dagger a bit more curved than the last one. So I've just watched Lord of the Rings with Eva and Art, and they have quite curvy weapons on there. You could colour that in. And remember, we put some holes for the belt last time, so. And then we'll bring this tunic down here and round. Remember to curve that line a bit. Follow this down. Like that. And then I'm going to just do a little line there following that. And we can carry on this pattern, or whatever pattern you've decided, or just plain fabric. You know, good opportunity to get some colours in. Do, you know, you could do like an elf that lives in the forest, so they're in sort of greens and browns, and or maybe their colours reflect the environment that they live in, so they could live in in snowy place, so they've got more whites and blues, or it's up to you. And then I'm going to do a second sort of layer of tunic just underneath, because I always think that looks quite good when they've got layers of clothing. So that's almost like this shirt on the arms, it's hanging below there. Then I'm going to bring one leg down, and it's quite a long leg, so slightly curved there like that, and then a little sort of curve like that, contour line they call them, I think, for the kneecap. And then this one I'm going to bring out slightly just to get a bit of a nice pose on there, so as if the weight is over one leg more than the other. So there's that leg. I'm stopping excuse me, stopping just there because of the top of the boot, and this one's going to come out a bit like that, and we'll put, look where your knee is there, put a little curve for that one, and then we'll go slight curve in and out there for the edge of the calf. Okay, and then we'll put the boots like we did last time with a sort of V shape in the top. That one's slightly sideways on, so I'm showing less of the, I'm moving the V across the leg a bit almost. This one's a bit more, actually that one should be a bit more that way, so do it like that, look. And bring the boots down. And again, put some decoration on there, or you put some shadow here if you like, decoration on that scabbard, and then little curvy crease line, and then heel and a contour like that, look. So just overlap that line a bit, and nice long pointy foot, put the heel on and round at the bottom. And this one's going to be slightly more sideways on this foot, so we go down, still got to be level with that, so think where your ground is, so bring it down like that, little curve for the heel, round, point like that, and then the sole. And then the last thing to put in really is the cloak, so we can see the edges there, so we take that line, bring it down behind all of this equipment you've drawn in, quite nice, sort of following the shape of that leg, and then here there's the edge of the cloak there, so we bring a straight line down here, and then make sure it's level with that side, and then we'll just do a wobbly line, so it's coming across and a curve like that, and then a curve, and then you can just do a few. And if you want to, you can shade this area in, it's up to you. Or what, if you're painting it, paint it a different colour. And then on the last one we put a few freckles on, so you could do that. So there we go. Oh, one thing I forgot. Just put the arrow flights on there, look. And you keep decorating all these areas as much as you want. You know, some of the pictures you've been sending in are fantastic, and really love the ones where people have gone and added another level of detail and depth to it, or their own version. You know, it's really cool to see. So you could put patterns along the edge of this fabric, or patterns along the edge of here if you wanted. Just really go to town with it. So yes, sorry about the mix up. We've got slightly more complicated there. So this figure's, it's very similar really in proportion to that one, but what we're doing there is we're putting them in a more of an action pose, and also a bit more perspective going on there. So if you think the ground that you're looking at there is feet are sitting on a piece of wood or something, then you'd see it was a square like that in perspective. So we're starting to think about perspective there, which is very important to sort of develop you as an artist. And also what it shows is, I didn't really plan it out like this, but it's quite interesting, in it shows something very simple like that and how you can take that and move it to a next level by doing a very similar technique, but just thinking more about perspective and how they're sat in the environment that they're in. So that's what we're tackling there. So maybe we'll see how it's gone. I'll see what you guys send in, and if you've got any feedback, let me know, because I'm still learning a lot myself about how to teach this stuff. So it's a bit of a learning curve for me. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll stop waffling on now. Have a great weekend, and we are going to announce some more winners. It's just been a bit of a hectic week, so keep checking on the page and we'll announce some more winners of the best previous draws we've done. So yeah, have a great weekend, and hope to catch you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.